let's take a look. Now, of course, we got the EKittens on your right here. You saw them on the big stage. Sobi, Banzo Kajui, the Chad, Muck, and joining them for this event, CSE, Can't Stop Them. We saw them last week. And on the other side, Comatose, Regis, Silent Rain, Dim Lit Skies, which is a pretty rad name, Silent Red, that feels like a throwback a little bit, and Muty.
Yeah, I like this squad. Okay. Also, yes, Dim Lit Skies rules. Like, that is, I normally don't like epic gamer, epic gamer names, like it's probably your Final Fantasy 14 character's name or whatever, right? I love Dim Lit Skies. That name rules.
It is definitely solid. It is definitely solid, which makes me think that we need to do our gamertag tier list, maybe going into Worlds.
Ooh, do we do Worlds player? Maybe at the end of Mayhem, we do all the Mayhem players.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We got notes. We'll take care of it. Okay, talking about draft, though. Urshifu, Slowbro being banned away. No huge surprises there. Charizard and Saralege being banned away. I would say pretty par for the course there as well. Blaziken being first picked makes a lot of sense. Support Core getting locked up by EKittens. A little bit surprising to me. No Mimikyu being picked up as of yet.
Yeah, and it looks like it might actually bounce over to the EKittens here as Regis has quickly locked in Leafeon. So we are getting a much different flavor from last week, or from last set to this set.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so I believe this is...
No shot, JL won the raffle. After JL said, if I lose the raffle, it's rigged. Crazy.
JL's just sauced with it. I don't know what to tell you, but he apparently is. Okay, it will be Sobi onto that Sylveon. She absolutely adores that Pokemon. It makes sense. And Muck will be picking up the Mimikyu. Notable role swap for Muck as of recently has been headed into that top path and has actually really been enjoying it. I think they've been having a lot of fun. They've been telling me they've been experimenting with a lot of the picks. Mimikyu is absolutely not that, so Muck, I'm hoping for more in Game 2, but right now, it's obviously an incredibly strong pick. And Mime, 2 games in a row, Deuce next. What a time.
Yeah, I mean, Mime Tank is incredibly good right now. Specifically, I like the wall build, but we saw how good the leash can actually be in the last game. It has its moments for sure. So... the EKittens, how are they going to contend? Absol coming out of the woodwork here, and I can't wait for Banzo to either show this thing to be the best of all time or what we all think it is, which is not.
Okay. I guess if we're dealing in extremities, no. I don't think it is the best of all time. Do I think it's actually a pretty decent option these days? Absolutely. I hate that I said absolutely. For sure. Absol, I do think kind of crushes it right now in this meta. Having a chase option for both Cramorant and Leafeon is sick. It's a Pokemon that is extremely strong in the early game. So strong, I think, that it kind of contends with things like the evolutions and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I am pumped about this Pokemon in particular, and I hope Banzo is too, because I can't wait to see this game. Oh, decked out, manifesting the worlds in Honolulu. I love it.
Well, you just mentioned 2 prime targets that Absol might have here, and that's who they're going to have to leverage, right? I mean, they're going to have to weasel their way past the Mime and the Blissey a little bit.
I'll make it 4. Torchic and Combusken. Let's add those ones into the mix, too. Absol preys on the early game scalers, right? Blaziken is going to struggle to get to that moment. You show your face against an Absol, that's just a KO.
That's completely fair. Leafeon also, it almost feels like whichever one can get the jump might have the better of that exchange. So we will see how it shakes out. But we have seen some middling Absol play as well. So I just want to be proven wrong. Just let me have a sick Absol game.
All right, fair.
Just do it.
Yes, we're requiring excellence. We're just achieving it in different ways. I think that, or desiring it in different ways at the very least. I think I can get on board with that. Muck gonna bail quickly from that fight. Already lost the disguise passive, which is a little difficult in the early game. You don't want to give that up too quick. It'll actually allow you to kind of swing an early game fight in one way or the other, but Muck just gonna chill, wait on their side.
Look at the concern that Comatose has for the potential Chad invade. Just all has the Cram escorting in the middle as well to make sure that they're not losing any of that critical central area farm. Because of this, it's really slowed down the stacking and scoring between these two teams. So that might be another way that they're keeping each other at parity.
Yeah, I think that's a great word for it that you mentioned before Deuce Next, is just the respect these two teams are showing each other right now. It has been a slow start to the set. Obviously, donuts on either side, but we are teeing up for a 4v3 spot for the EKittens.
Oh, going straight in is the Absol. If there's an opportunity for the knockout, it's going to be here, eviscerating a couple targets. Blissey gets low. Leafeon does make it back to get a berry, but in the meantime, so does Torchic. You called that as an easy target, and that chick was smashed for sure, as we're getting a KO streak of 2 by Banzo. And, you know, Absol in the first minute, 30 seconds, looking strong.
Hey, I'll take it. At any point in time, I will take it. Muck easily gets 3 stacks in that entire engagement as well, which might be, honestly, the biggest positive of that moment. Absol also able to get a few scores in, so that is huge for the EKittens in the early game. Muck adding another one to that tally as well. Mimikyu with the scaling attack stat can be terrifying, if only because that insta-KO is so important for the playstyle of Mimikyu with that Shadow Sneak. You want to reset it as quickly as you can. The quicker you get those KOs, the more potent Mimikyu becomes.
I really like what they're doing with this Absol here. They're actually letting Sobi lead and then the Absol engage afterwards, right? So they're leading with the Mystical Fire and then Absol's following Sobi's target. So I like what they're using here. It's a little bit more balanced than what we've seen out of previous Absol play so far.
Yeah, I'm aligned. So far, Absol looking pretty solid. It has been more of that patient entry kind of assassin role, but the Umbreon, they take some hurt for that engagement, though.
Yeah, but the Cram's on the chase. They had an opportunity and they took it. Banzo down, and now we're just draining Kiss Mystical Fire on the Cramorant, which is going to have to play deep in the back line. 3 players for the Kittens as the birds are up, and we're going to see who eviscerates them. It looks like it's going to be mostly the Comatose here, but they actually get taken out in this exchange as we've got a little bit of a central area pop-off by Muck, just not on camera, but knowing that everybody's watching regardless.
Yeah. Muck gonna be, they definitely got that one on camera, guys. Don't worry. So, unfortunately, no dice. Now it is going to be the rush towards that Regice to see if they can get a steal opportunity, but great coverage by CSE on that Umbreon. Foul play locks them down for a 1.5 seconds, and that is critical time where they are not in secure range.
Yeah, I absolutely love that foul play engagement. Stunned 2 targets, allowed them to finish the rip, and then siege off of that right here. Absol Unite pop. Let's see if they can get onto some targets. Blissy's down, so is Leafeon. We're straight into the back line, forcing Cramorant out by miles, all the way back to shore. You're not playing in this sea right now, as there's a sea of points going in for the Kittens.
CSE moments away from greatness, trying to dunk in those extra 2 points, but it will be Dat Boy Muck in a 1-on-3 situation, but they've already taken down 1. That is a Leafeon Unite move to try to contend, but right now it is Muck just trying to hang out this tall grass. Shadow Claw healing is their focus band as well, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Now it is a 4-on-1 situation, and I mean, Regice is doing its best, but that can only last so long.
Listen, you got to give Muck all the credit in the world, because that should not have taken that long.
all the credit in the world, okay? HP recovery is goated.
Regice, good, Muck, great in that little exchange. I mean, they had the attention of 4 players, and the rest of the EKittens got to pretty much clear their central, make it up top, and look to scrap. And they're going to do so as Banzo's getting Gargantuan, another KO for them. Blaziken trying to charge overheat in the bush, but Absol knows exactly where they are. Sobi's just running straight at them with no fear because they know Banzo's going to pull up for the smoke right after. Sylveon Unite is out, following into the straight line, following into the back line, and now we're rings unbound as the Chad is shooting everything from space out of the Mythical Beast. Riding up top, the fists are going. There's 4 players down. They're looking to score. KO streak of 3 for Banzo, and the Chad marks one up for themselves just to get some credit.
Hey, I like that Hyperspace Fury. I mean, Chad on this support role, your team's dominating this hard. Support role becomes a little bit easier, right? But they're still making good, correct play patterns. They're locking down with that big stun where they need to, making sure that nobody can push towards their goal zone, and it's working out well. So, hey, I like the technical showcasing. It's good stuff, and, well, Muck's just having fun.
Yeah, popping their Unite move actually so they don't go down, because the nice wall by Mime keeps them from being able to reset through a decent portal out of Chad. So what that does, it just bought tons of time, right? Gives them the shield, and they can take the next tunnel out of town.
Yeah, and now it is a quick dash towards the bottom side of the map, which Regis has already started on this objective. Registeel almost at half HP, but they are not going to be alone for long, as Mimikyu and Umbreon are fast on the approach.
Nice foul play engaged his stun. Reggie's go straight into his Mimikyu. Muck gets the KO. Registeel is down there looking for the next target. Shadow Sneak hits right on Cramorant, and the chase continues. Blizzard sits for long range, chipping up Muck and stopping that push. So a nice pickup by the support core there as Absol, Banzo taking any target that's laying in front of them. I'm telling you, the Sylveon with the Absol looks different, and I've never been happier to be proven wrong. Absol looks really good, but I love how they're playing it.
Yeah, these 1-for-1 combinations where it's like a soft poke up front and then a big end play from the speedster. I always call it kind of the hammer and anvil, but with Sylveon it feels like the pillow and the hammer. I don't know exactly to describe it, but so far it has been working out perfectly. That will be a Sylveon Unite for a little bit more sustained damage, but it's going to be responded with the Leafeon, and finally, Sobi will go down.
The Blaziken KO'd by the Chad. They're going to get sorted out as well. Can they turn on any other player from Comatose? Doesn't necessarily, oh well, they pop right as soon as I say that. Silent Red gets a good wall in. Shadow Sneak goes in, popping the Unite move as well. Banzo steps in to follow up, and these two are working in tandem. KO Shrika 2 for Muck, they're roaring on. KO Shrika 3 for Muck, they continue. Silent Red is silenced indeed. That's a 4-pack for Muck. Banzo there for all the support in the war, saying, I got all the assists in the world out of Sobi. I better give some to Muck as well.
Yeah, Muck getting involved, obviously in a major way. Another moment where I think Muck profiting off of a Reggie buff, Registeel helping a lot, and a push into 4 enemies on the other side of the battlefield. But good Egg Bomb preliminary option from Dimlit Skies, making sure if that Shadow Sneak does happen, that Mimikyu is going sky high immediately.
Yeah, all the attention on CSE for some reason, but it doesn't matter. Steps up, now without an overheat, they're getting it done. Muck eviscerated. Leafeon Regis is getting CSE down as well. A little bit of sign of life out of Comatose. Nothing sleepy here as they're looking to push a pad for once. Ooh. Right into the back line is Blaziken, able to get that done. Regieleki crashes points go in.
Yeah, they went for the biggest score they could in that moment. Maybe some quick math would have gotten that scoreline up a little bit more, but at that moment, I think they're just trying to make sure that that 50 banger goes in from Silent, who's been absolutely tearing it up in the latter half of this game. Blaziken's been able to win 1v1s and be the center point of big team fights. Silent Rain's been pulling that off, but CSE wants to get this thing started early.
Yeah, actually Muck in tow to see if they can catch someone out, but no, they've scrambled Comatose, but they know where they're all at. Banzo's up top looking for a Giga flank here.
Yeah, Absol on that long-range route potentially has the option to score, especially if no one is waiting in home pad. Sometimes we see teams actually just sit on jump pad in moments like this, but it's Muck caught.
Showtime, right as soon as it's identified that they are gone. Now we're rings unbound to pull them right back through. The Hundo Burger's going to hit. Bliss is on Leafeon right into the middle. They two-step. Can they find a target? No. Blaziken's eviscerated. Silent Red is down. Bliss is next, and they're continuing to roar on. Absol United's going to find so many targets. Muck does as well. One player left. They're going for the Soul Scrub. Reggie's gone. Reggie's down. Reggie's gone. And Comatose is silenced indeed.
Comatose, they are gone. A full team ace from EKittens. They take that out in picture-perfect status. They play with the Absol long flank, trust in the Hoopa, but they don't just sit on their heels, right? That's what I love about fights like that. Instead, CSE and Muck actually play aggressively to make sure they have as much vision as they possibly can, and makes that risk from Banzo on that big flank so much more worth it.
Nice little wall by Mime as they're finding targets back the other way. Banzo's just too big now, level 15. Doesn't matter who they're engaging with. KO streak of 3 for them. Between Muck and Banzo, I mean, it is a rock and a hard place. They're finding so many KOs here as they're going to run the score up a little bit. Chad still hanging out. They've got a shield. They're getting 70 more points in. And Reg has stepped up, stepped down, put down, and holy smokes, the kitten looked good in game 1.
Absolutely. Banzo's Absol, Sobi's Sylveon, and of course, Dapboy Muck's Mimikyu is the damage core for this team, and they were popping off the entire set. Chad and CSE's job, well, important, definitely looks a little bit easier when the damage is humming that much in game number 1. EKittens starting strong.
Starting strong indeed. Let's talk about some highlights here for Comatose. Silent Red really found their mark between like the 5-minute and like the minute 30 mark, right? Until they kind of got buckled in that last team fight, but they were finding 1v1s like you mentioned. Dimlit Skies doing good, nice Bliss assistance to save when they can, but I think I said Silent Rain, Silent Red. Of course, I was getting confused. Silent Rain, great job on the Blaziken. But the other player I did want to highlight was Silent Red. Their mine walls were giving Comatose chances, which is really
100%.
all you can do when you're so far behind, and gave them an opportunity, which is good.
Yeah. Well, hey, Deuce Next, you requested a excellent Absol game. Banzo delivered that in spade. 67,000 damage, but also 16 KOs in total in that fight. Sobi and Muck putting up the real damage numbers, though. Sobi with 91. Muck with, like, I think 11 or 12 KOs, but 122,000 damage on that Mimikyu. Shadowclaw Mimikyu. It is exceptionally strong. A lot of players, like in this more speedster-focused meta with Pokemon like Leafeon, potentially even the Blaziken, will go into that play rough to try to play around the big dives and engages, avoid that big instance of damage by just jumping on the enemy instead. But Shadowclaw, when it used properly, Mimikyu can absolutely hang, and that was a fantastic showing in our game number 1.
Yeah, it definitely can hang without a doubt, and that Shadow Claw damage helped out quite a bit when Muck was just, you know, completely across the map in the opposing flux zone, fighting 4 players at once with that Regice buff, allowing them to just keep pressing that button on repeat. But that can't go understated how well the team played, and I really can't stress enough how impressive it was how they leveraged Sylveon with the Absol. It really
100%.
became like a truck and trailer type of situation. Sobi leads the charge, Mystical fires down a target, maybe even starts a Draining Kiss. Bang, here comes Absol to clean up the trash, which is why you saw a lower damage number, but those KOs were so high, and that's exactly how you want to be using those types of assassin characters.
Totally agree, 100%. And the reason you kind of had that runway is you drafted an early game composition into a pretty weak early game composition on the other side. So just good play patterns, very, very exceptional thinking, very brainy from the EKittens, you know? We got some intellectuals on that side of the battlefield. Very impressive stuff from them. There were signs of hope for Comatose in that game number 1. I think they're hoping for a brighter future here in game number 2. Let's start things off by repeating that Urshifu ban. I'm curious on who that's targeting. I don't know how much Muck's been playing the Urshifu top, and I don't know if I've ever seen Banzo play it central, so I'm curious about that ban, but I think bans are going to remain the same across the board here in game number 2.
So Comatose has the opportunity to lead the charge, and they've put EKittens in that reactionary orange side. They are quickly giving Silent Rain their Blaziken, and I can't blame them.
Oh yeah, that Pokemon is so fantastic, both metagame-wise, and clearly Silent Rain has a mastery of it that makes it a potent threat in competitive games as well. That's why you're going to see that Pokemon lockdown, even if it does struggle a little bit early, especially with the comp that EKittens was bringing last time, still has abilities that can make it late game scary. Dimlit maybe going to pivot away from the Blissey in this game, and they are going to lock down the Eldegoss when a bit more pressure in that pathing phase, and no one does the A button pressing like Eldegoss.
Yeah, I'm not too sure I would have gone Eldegoss there. I think you had other choices you could have gone with. I mean, Mimikyu is namely still standing right now, and it looks like Muck's going to go for a little bit of a flash right here. It might have a Greninja lockdown. But
he said it. He said Greninja top cooks. I've been told to believe him. I don't know who to trust, but it is locked in. Cursed Bangle Greninja. And that's why we take Eldegoss. We'll still get the Mimikyu later. It's fine.
yeah, well, who could have predicted just a lane ninja in the middle of the draft for the EKittens here? Truly using the Yite Mike's Mayhem platform to show out all the tricks that they have in the bag. And, Sobi on this Pikachu, that's another thing that Muck said they've really been liking.
I think this Pokemon, it has been slept on for quite some time, and it recently got that buff. It's got a lot of versatility, and by that I just mean that both movesets are extremely solid. Its Unite move is unbelievably good, and it's one of the quickest refresh timers in the game, and that's why Sobi's going to be rocking that amp as well. So, a couple of cursed items so far in item selection. They're going to go with Incense and Bangle, one apiece on the side of EKittens. Just going to make Dimlit, Skies, and Silent Red's job a little bit harder. However, currently Dimlit's also got that Incense equipped. I kind of like that tech on Eldegoss. That's kind of cool.
Going deep on the healing stoppage here is Dimlit's guys. On the other side, we rounded out our draft Banzo on this Gyarados. So it might actually be Muck Central
That's
for one
probably right.
go-around. Send Gyarados up top, of course. Try to see if you can hit that Gyarados spike early, and then maybe send the Gyarados back into the Central later.
I tend to agree. More Greninja talk, because why not? They are good. Muck is going to be going with the Muscle Band and Rapid Fire Scarf, so indicating a large amount of auto attacks, which makes me think that we are going kind of Mage-style Greninja, or aka Water Shuriken Greninja. I personally am in love with Surf Greninja. I think it's one of my favorite Pokemon to play and cast in the game. But hey, Double Team Water Shuriken is a very viable and strong build. But you got a Cramorant on the other side. Please, players, remember what Smokescreen does.
Remember. Just remember. All right, Comatose up against it. They are down a game, which means EKittens just need one more to make it to our finals and square off against LG. Comatose, if they want to stay in this thing, they got to win this one first.
All right, and they've drafted a pretty decent composition. They got their hands on the Mimikyu this time around, which, for in the hands of Dat Boy Muck, was both a KO and damage leader on the lobby. So they obviously have the toolkit to do so. See if they can get it done. Banzo's job, on the other hand, is just to hold out and try to do as well as you can in the early game. I mean, Magikarp certainly a participation trophy enjoyer.
Definitely indeed. However, not a lot of support out of the EKittens here for this Gyarados. Typically, you see like a quick ganking type Pokemon going to the Central to help them get a knockout early. But now it's just this Tortrick. Actually, eject buttons to try and close the gap there, I believe. Can't quite close it up. The Chad using their little pop through to stun out and see what they can do. A little Astonish and secure what they can to help Banzo along.
Yeah, I think Silent Ray never so frustrated that the Ember cooldown is so long on Torchic. I mean, the eject button, the only ranged option they have is off cooldown, and they're not able to get it. Now, that boy Muck is at level 5. However, Greninja's level 5, nothing really to write home about, especially when Mimikyu is on the other side, getting access to two of the most powerful moves in the game. Let's get this fight started.
Oh, well, Banzo goes down instantly. Magikarp not knowing for their resilience as they are folded like laundry, quickly backing out those Regises. They took a ton of damage too. But EKittens can't quite find a prize as the best move in the game, Electro Web, is used. And they do get a KO on the ugliest Pokemon in the game as well. So now we've got the portal to reset. Muck's going to go through. If they roll back through, they can keep some pressure on because there's still 3 up top here.
Here at Unite Mics, we get pretty pumped when the Uggo gets knocked out. And of course, by the Uggo, I do mean Combuskin. So we are all Sobi fans in this house at the moment. Silent Rain, I would say maybe not in the same way, shape, or form, but with just the Magikarp defending the goal zone, that might have been their chance to get a couple of attack weight stacks in, but instead, they are just trying to prevent Wild Pokemon Farm from going in the hands of Banzo. I like that play. You'll get to Blaziken, you'll be fine. It's better to prevent the Gyarados Evo.
Oh, looks like Mean Look at a CSC this time. No foul play as they're trying to limit Regis and their range here. Quickly going in and ripping those shurikens into Mimikyu is Muck, of course, and the chase continues. Muck sitting in the Central, seeing if they can do anything to the Cramorant. They can't. They dive out of the way. And now everybody in the Kittens is kind of settling in for the 7-minute and 30-second square up.
Things are looking great for Comatose. I mean, right now there's still no Gyarados, and Banzo is at level 6. So we might just be getting the literal consolation Gyarados at level 7, the minimum level. But finally, we have the evolution to the big flying fish a moment before we get to that level 7. So for at least for the first Reggie fight, they will have access to both their moves. Gyarados ready to fight.
Unfortunately for the Kittens, I think they just kind of need to leave Banzo upstairs. So they're going to have to do this 4 down if they want to take that out. Blaziken is sitting there. We're charging up a floopy-flopping move here. Is Banzo. Doesn't decide to let it rip on the Blaziken. So, take a deep breath. This Basement Reggie's here, but I don't know if we're going for the finish. Okay, nice little Mean Look on Silent Red. Half HP is down, buckled against the wall, folded. Muck is there, and they're chucking shurikens like a Ninja Turtle into the faces of everybody on the other side. Registeel's getting solo. Registeel is gone. By who else? Muck. Mean Looks are still there, and we're still ripping through this Eldegoss as it's trying to eject out of the way. Pretty successful. Big Unite move, going to sort out the Eldegoss quickly, and now they're in the back line. They catch a portal reset, 2 players down, but they want more. Regis uses their Unite move, does get a KO on Muck back the other way, but there are tons of players there. Silent Red and Silent Rain are stepping up, indeed, as they are getting 2 back. Mimikyu is gargantuan, Mimikyu is huge, and that's why Mimikyu is usually banned.
No, my word. What a sick run from Reggie's, going down to just so little HP time and time again. Despite some nice mean looks, Bai can't stop him. They were still in range of the Shadow Claw, or at least a lot of the EKittens were, and so that HP was there. But honestly, I think it was Silent Red, kind of the GOAT of that last little team fight. A few big stunts, a few big pushes, allow for the Mimikyu to pop off as hard as they can. Nice mean look to prevent the Berry Seal, but Silent Red, that filter passive going nuts, they are able to hang for the longest time.
Yeah, and really, Comatose able to take advantage, now taking the score lead, breaking a tier 1 goal zone, ripping this Regieleki, and there's no one there for contested Kittens. Sobi does show up, but they're a little too late as they're watching this Regieleki fly towards their tier 2.
A lot of damage done, but oh, the Regieleki stun, how unlucky.
Oh, but the floopy flop right into the middle. Banzo, if there's an opportunity, it's now. They're popping a Unite move. They want multiple targets. Where are they going to spin this thing up? They only get an Eldegoss. They're straight into the Shadow Sneak, and now Banzo's getting eviscerated as Muck is trying to run cover. They pop their Unite move. They're right into the mix. They're going to A-press everybody down. 2 down in a heartbeat. Cramorant finds themselves in an absolute crime scene as they get buckled too. CSE steps up, give them 4, as Muck is just coming alive on this air quotes lane ninja. I don't believe it. And they're going to showtime to stop the scores.
Oh, Silent Red clutches up yet again, so no point advantage. Muck is walking away from this fight with a KO streak of 4 and a lot of EXP, but there is no tangible effect for the squad other than hopes for a better fight later in the game, as no scoring will be happening. Clutch defense by Comatose.
That's exactly what they needed, was Silent Red to step up yet again, because everybody else fell to the wayside as it came to Greninja. Silent Red still doing a lot of work, trapping Banzo against the walls and the tall grass, can't even let them out.
All right, Hoops Unbound, bringing the whole squad down. That Registeel will not last for long, at least not with the damage numbers that EKittens can put up. Then we have a level 13 Greninja going to be leading the charge. CSE taking the front force of that fight.
Now they're just sitting on the goal zone. We're finally popping a Cram Unite to see if we can get any targets. CSE is down. A quick little reset through as Chad takes their own portal. Is Muck going to be there and give them any support as Banzo's ripped in half? And they're probably asking where Muck was to begin with. Sobi pops their Unite move, but we are getting blendered out here as Comatose because Muck is still out here pressing A. Cotton Cloud Crash can try and pick up this Cram. They're pretty successfully dive in and eat Sobi. Of course we know that happens. They spit Pikachus all day long, but we're still sitting on pad. Muck's still trying to score. Muck gets knocked out. And what is going on? Comatose with another heroic stand.
Yeah, these goal zone defenses have been fantastic. It's the reason why they're still in this game. No matter how many KOs Muck gets, no matter what level they get to, 14 by the way, at 330, they will not be denied their defensive existence. What a good look. Sobi themselves kind of struggling for levels, only at level 11 right now on this Pikachu. And I think they've only had the chance to pop 1 Unite move this entire game, not the typical thing you see from Pikachu.
Well, Reggie's right in the middle. Pop their Unite move as well on Banzo. We've got a couple players pulling up. Regieleki's on the doorstep now where the EKittens going to be able to defend. A lot of pressure is being put on. Banzo and CSE are trying to do their best Comatose impression and keep this goal zone locked down, but it's the Cram that steps up and sorts out Banzo, shattering that guitar like a pro wrestler. Regieleki sitting on the doorstep, though. EKittens are going to take it as Sobi is babysitting tier 1 downstairs.
Oh, I mean, half their HP gone by a single confusion into the wall. Sobi's got to be careful about playing around this Mr. Mime. I mean, Silent, I think that's the rain one. I don't know. One of those, that might be red, actually.
Red, yeah, red is tank.
All right, Silent Red, literally not missing, something I say normally about, you know, special attackers. Well, I guess Mr. Mime still qualifies, but good look so far. Setting up for a fight early. 15 seconds remain on this Reggie. There's certainly enough damage to knock it out, but I don't know if either of these teams want to risk being in the danger zone like that.
Yeah, well, it looks like we have a Silent Rain stepping up for a little bit of flank. See if they can dive on an unsuspecting kitten here. No, but no SPCA needed as we are going straight for the Rayquaza in the middle.
I was desperately trying to remember what SPCA was, and now I am caught up. So, 2 minutes remain. Rayquaza's entered the battlefield. Comatose need to hold on to this lead if they want to extend this series, whereas this can all be shut down right now by the EKittens. Reggie's on that flank, hugging the walls, getting that Shadow Sneak. First one does target the Gyarados, but jumping into the midst of 4 is not going to be the play right now. Level 14 Mimikyu still trying to hold off.
Nice mean look, separation with the wall, showtime for no value. They can't close anybody down. We have a floopy flop back the other way. So a rare miss by Silent Red in this game. Their Unite move is expended for no value whatsoever. How are EKittens going to leverage this? Nice little wall for this separation. Are we in the backline? CSE has sussed this out, but we're jumping right on top of them, right into the Soba Unite, and they're putting everybody in this thunderstorm. 3 players down instantly. Call it a hurricane, call it whatever you want. Call it an ace. Comatose is put to sleep permanently by the Kittens.
Banzo may have taken a while to get to the Gyarados, but I mean, good things come to those who wait, and good things come to those when their team traps the enemies in a mean look, right? We have locked down one target, and everybody, all hands on deck. Gyarados dive, Pikachu Unite move. We can take out the Blaziken and Mimikyu to start this fight. There's literally no way they can lose it. Perfect engagement. Great work by the EKittens in that Ray fight.
They are up by a metric ton here, almost the entire, well, definitely more than 500 points, which is definitely the threshold, almost 600 points now. We are in garbage time, 20 seconds left. What a final engagement by the Kittens, and they followed up on CSE's mean look so well, Zoink, so well. Everybody got caught by Sobi's Unite.
And you mentioned it earlier, that Mr. Mime Unite move not being available. I mean, it's a great anti-dive option. It's honestly incredible at doing just that, so not having access to that really hurts. So just great map awareness of EKittens to be tracking what was available, what was not, and choosing the perfect time to take that fight. Comatose put up a heck of a fight in that game number 2. Again, the scoreline does not reflect that. A great showing from them. Reggie's was 6 knockouts on that Mimikyu, but just shy of the victory here.
Muck, on the other hand, 14 knockouts out of Greninja, and unsurprising. I mean, they were everywhere. 91k damage. I am shocked that Banzo's up to 62k. It felt like they were just on the, like, walking in the tall grass, defeating level 2 Weedles to try and get all their experience all game long. It took them forever, but finally Banzo was able to get there after, you know, whatever, 43 minutes, as long as that game was, and delivered in the final fight, right? A big pounce right into the mean look CSC engagement, and Sobi was there without missing a beat, and they caught 4 players immediately. Immediately. So great coordination out of the Kittens, and they're going to be in the finals against who? LG.
Luminosity Gaming versus EKittens. It's going to be an awesome showing. We're going to be jumping to a break very soon, but in the meantime, make sure to go check out Kinda Fit, Kinda Fat, and take a look at the More Chomp shirt, because if you do purchase that and use code UNITE15 at checkout, you will get 15% off. So there you go. You got a downtime activity. Go check that out. We'll be back with more Unite Mike's Mayhem right after this.